Real Virginia is produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Farming, it's all good. Visit our website at vafarmbureau.org.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce all of the wonderful products we enjoy. Did you know that this year's Miss Virginia is the former Miss State Fair of Virginia? We'll visit with Courtney Garrett as she prepares to compete for Miss America. Sweet potatoes are ready to come out of the garden. Chris Mullins will show us how easy it is to grow these vegetables. And farming is becoming a popular option for some military veterans. Welcome back, everyone. We are here at Fort Lee, Virginia. This is home to more than 4,000 servicemen and women. And when these soldiers retire, they could become farmers, and we'll visit that story a little later on. But first, we want to introduce you to a very important woman, a former Miss State Fair of Virginia, now Miss Virginia, who's going from the farm to the runway at Boardwalk Hall. Courtney Garrett has a unique job. She travels the state making appearances, wearing a crown and her Miss Virginia sash. The 22-year-old Liberty graduate won the Miss Virginia title in June and will travel to Atlantic City in September to compete for Miss America. But her journey began last September when she won the title of Miss State Fair of Virginia.
Well, it was a new pageant this year to the Miss America organization for Miss Virginia pageant as a preliminary, and so I thought it would be really exciting to just kind of join a new tradition. And I think the fair is a wonderful place for family to have fun. You know, agriculture and farming is part of my family. My grandparents have a farm, so I thought that would be just a cool tie-in to have, and it would be a great experience, and it definitely was.
The Miss State Fair of Virginia program is a scholarship-based organization that awards winners not only for the opportunity to compete at Miss Virginia, but also to compete for academic scholarships. Youth scholarships are part of the mission of the State Fair.
A lot of people don't realize the Miss America organization is the largest scholarship provider for young women in the world. And so now, after winning Miss Virginia with the State Fair preliminary and with other preliminaries I've done over the past 4 years, I've gained over $45,000 in scholarship to help pay for college and student loans, which a lot of people don't realize it's a huge help to help women achieve their academic goals.
Every year, thousands of young women between the ages of 17 to 24 years old compete for the chance to represent their state at Miss America. Garrett knows what an honor it is to be chosen as one of the 53 young women who actually makes it to the stage.
Over 14,000 contestants start at the local level, and they've all dreamed of being there. And I actually had a former Miss Virginia contestant tell me, when you go to Miss America, remember you're not going just for you, but for every girl who's ever dreamed of being in your shoes and having that opportunity.
Since winning the title of Miss Virginia, Garrett has traveled the state not only representing the pageant, but her personal platform of defying disabilities, which was inspired by her brother.
And I have a brother, Austin, with cerebral palsy. And growing up with Austin, I witnessed daily the obstacles that not only he, but every individual with any type of mental, physical, social disability has to endure on a daily basis. So it's been extremely beneficial to offer that opportunity and to be that voice for Austin and for people like him.
Whoever wins the title of Miss America, someone will follow in Garrett's footsteps as the new Miss State Fair of Virginia. She'll be crowned at the fairgrounds at Meadow Event Park on September 28th during the State Fair celebrations. Miss America will air September 14th on ABC Network live from Atlantic City.
Hi, I'm Chris Mullins, and today we're going to talk about sweet potatoes from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
We are at the top of the Shenandoah Valley in Winchester, Virginia. My grandparents started the farm in 1906. My dad started the dairy in 1948. I came back to the farm in 1977 to help my dad and my mom to run the farm, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. Shannon is my youngest daughter. Jackie is my oldest daughter. They have such wonderful work ethics. Shannon is my right-hand person here. She helps with the milking. If I need something, at the drop of a hat, she's here. It's so wonderful to have daughters that have that sense of responsibility, sense of country, sense of love for the farm, and I know they will always be here to carry it on. I'm Kitty Huckman-Nicholas, and I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
State Fair is bringing you the best of Virginia. My job is picking it up. Know any driving tunes?
They've been in the bathroom, right?
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
No fight songs.
This could be a challenge.
Learn more at statefairva.org.
Turns out sweet potatoes aren't only a tasty treat, but they're rather easy to grow in your garden. Chris Mullins has some sweet tips on growing these sweet potatoes from the ground up.
Hi, and welcome to Virginia State University's Randolph Farm. Today we're going to be talking about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes you might think about Thanksgiving, that's when you usually eat them, but they're good all throughout the year. They're very healthy for you. They have a lot of vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, calcium, and they're sometimes maybe thought to be a little bit better than white potatoes. They're also very easy to grow, and you as a home gardener should have no problem growing sweet potatoes in your garden. All right, well, we're in this sweet potato patch here. You can see they're growing really well. We've got some that we just dug up. It's a little early right now that we've dug these, so they're a little small. The longer that they stay in the ground, the larger they're going to get. This is a red variety. This is called Puerto Rico, but there are a lot of different varieties out there. Red flesh, orange flesh, even some stringy ones like this. There's a variety called Haman. It's a white sweet potato, very, very sweet. Ones that you might find that do best in the garden are ones like Georgia Jet or Centennial. Also, Beauregard is a great variety. It is grown commercially, but it can also do very well in the home garden because it's very productive. You get a lot of sweet potatoes out of your field. So if you were going to grow these, it'd be best to have sandy soil, but if you're not in a sandy location, if you've got heavy clay soils, you might want to amend that soil with a little bit of organic matter or some compost to kind of make a little better environment for those sweet potatoes to grow, because this is the root part that we're harvesting, right? One thing about sweet potatoes for the home garden, they're nice because they don't have a lot of disease or insect problems. But one thing to think about are weeds. As you see these plants here, they've vined over the row middles. There's not much chance of weeds growing through here now because all the sun's being blocked. But until this happens, until these vines cover over, you're going to need to make sure all the weeds are out of the row middles. You can pull them out or use a hoe and cultivate in between there. Now, you're seeing the plants now towards the end of the season. Now, let's think about at the beginning of the season planting these. The best thing for the home grower to do is to go buy sweet potato slips. Those are the pulled plants that can be then transplanted into the ground. You can make a hill and plant these in the ground, put the plants within the row about 2 to 3 feet apart, and have rows that are about 4 to 6 feet apart to give them lots of space, because they really do run and move, and they'll do really well for you at that spacing. So you've grown your sweet potatoes, now you've got to figure out when to harvest these. Well, like I said before, usually these have maturity dates anywhere from 90 days to 150 days depending on the variety. One way to tell they're ready is as it starts to get colder, these will naturally kind of die back and it's time to harvest them. But you can check them periodically as you get towards that 90-day, 100-day period and see how they've done. They'll get a little larger the longer you keep them in the ground. And to dig them, you usually something like this, spading fork, digging carefully around the plant area, giving yourself about 8 to 10 inches on each side of the plant, and probably almost a foot deep. And then you just want to gently lift them out of the ground. They come out dirty like this. They're going to be bunched all together. You want to leave them on the surface to dry in the sun for a little bit, a few hours. And then you can take them inside. Don't need to clean them off. And if you want to cure them, they can be cured in warm temperature, somewhere that's relatively dry, about 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 2 weeks. And this will help to make them turn some of that starch into sugar. Then they can just be taken inside and used whenever they're ready to eat. So a real simple process to harvest these. For more information about sweet potato production, please contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. Or look online at the Virginia Cooperative Extension website for a publication about sweet potatoes. For From the Ground Up, we'll see you next time.
Up next on Real Virginia, Carissa Jackson takes us into the heart of the home for a special Asian food recipe. Stay with us.
State Fair is bringing you the best of Virginia. My job is picking it up. Know any driving tunes?
They've been in the bathroom, right?
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
No fight songs.
This could be a challenge.
Learn more at statefairva.org.
I wish I was in school. If only I had a math test today. Or a book report to give. I wish I was in school. I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll do extra homework. I'll skip recess. I wish I was in school. I wish I was in school. I really wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/summer meals for help. Together, we're feeding America.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
If you're looking for a low-carb meal, Miss America 2010 Carissa Jackson has a terrific recipe for you in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Carissa Jackson for Heart of the Home, and we are here at the Meadow Event Park. Today, I am going to be doing a popular spin-off of a recipe that you guys might enjoy from a certain restaurant. It's going to be Asian Zing chicken lettuce wraps. So we're going to first start off with some ground chicken. And as I have said before, poultry is the #1 commodity in the state of Virginia. So you can find fresh ground chicken any time of the year. All right, so we're going to start with 1 pound ground chicken. What's important with this recipe is to make sure that you are constantly breaking up the ground chicken as it cooks, because ground chicken has a tendency to clump together, and since we're not making burgers, we want to make sure that it stays crumbled. If you don't have a nonstick pan before you do this, then go ahead and just put a little bit of olive oil at the bottom of the pan to prevent sticking. Ground chicken is an extremely lean meat, so this recipe will not require you to have to do too much draining at all. It'll take about 5 to 7 minutes for your ground chicken to turn a beige color. That's when you know it's done. It's not going to be brown, it's going to be beige. All right, now it's time to give some flavor to this ground chicken. We're going to first start off with 2 tablespoons of fresh minced garlic, 1/2 of a chopped onion, and then 1/2 cup of hoisin sauce. You can find this in your international food aisle at your supermarket. Want to make sure everything gets some sauce on it. This is what's going to give you nice coloring. Then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of sriracha. You can add more if you like it to be a little spicy. We're going to mix all of these ingredients up, and we are going to cook it until our onions become tender. One thing that you can add to this recipe is bean sprouts. You can also add some water chestnuts if you like. It should take about 3 to 4 minutes for your onions to become tender. All right, so they're ready to serve. I'm gonna go over here and we have some pieces of lettuce already available. And you can roll these up and stick a toothpick in them so that they're actual rolls, or you can eat them taco style, whatever you prefer. This is one of those quick, easy recipes that you can do on a weeknight when you're in a rush. You can eat tons of them and not feel guilty because it's ground chicken and lettuce. There's no carbs in that at all, I promise. So here you have it, Asian Zing lettuce wraps. I'm Caressa Jackson for Heart of the Home. Come and get it.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org. Lettuce is one of the top 3 vegetable crops grown in the United States. 90% of all lettuce is raised in California and Arizona, thanks to their cooler climates. But there are 29 Virginia lettuce farms producing for commercial sale. That's in addition to thousands of smaller farms that raise the crop for community-supported agriculture distribution or to sell at local farmers markets. Lettuce is easy to grow at home. In fact, some varieties are ready to harvest in as few as 40 days. Iceberg lettuce is still the dominant variety sold in the store, but romaine, leaf lettuce, and spinach are becoming more popular alternatives.
We all want healthy rivers and streams, but we can't do that without help from Virginia's landowners. Resource Management Plans, or RMPs, are part of a voluntary program that helps farmers get credit for cleaning up our waters. And once you have an RMP, you are exempt from any new water quality requirements for 9 years. The Virginia Department of Conservation and Recreation has funds available to help you implement these plans. Contact the department today to learn more. Thank you.
This message sponsored by Virginia's agriculture community.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My turn. No, you just had it.
Do I need to stop this car?
Farmers are out working in the field again. That means more farm equipment on the road. Farm machinery only moves a fraction of the speed limit. It's not easy to judge how much distance you need to slow down, especially at night. Be on the lookout. You need to slow down to keep you and your family safe. So go ahead and enjoy the scenery, but remember there may be slow-moving farm equipment right around the bend.
Nothing like a drive in the country.
Every year, we're seeing more military personnel moving from the military base to the farm. As Dave Miller reports, these retirees are turning their interest into agriculture.
Military veterans Denise and David Hudson moved to their Halifax County farm 5 years ago. That's where they put their military backgrounds to work, raising and processing several types of livestock. They raise Scottish Highland cattle, horn Dorset sheep, meat goats, and hogs.
We've always been proud that we're veterans, and we've always been proud to market our products as a veteran-owned and operated farm. And we became involved with the Veterans Coalition. We were aware of, there's a couple of programs nationwide, that's one of them. And when they started talking about offering the certification, Homegrown by Heroes, then we started discussing that with them and applied. And we were the first farm in Virginia to receive that designation.
Denise and David, their farm
brings, well, USDA certified, not just pork, but they also bring the beef, the goat, and the lamb products to the market. Denise does numerous grilling demos at the market, and not only when she does the grilling demos does she feature her products, but she also likes to include other vendors' products such as the breads, the vegetables.
Whether shipping products off the farm or selling them directly to the public, today's farmer must work with a team of people to sell their wares. They must understand financing as well as production, because making a profit is essential to their farm's success. Hudson says military veterans have that team experience that helps them stay focused and organized with the many tasks they face. Plus, 44% of recent veterans went into the service from rural areas.
A lot of veterans are coming off of farms already. They are enlist in the military, they learn additional skills, they build on the skills that they already had. Yes, they leave the military, they may not have a job then, but farming offers them opportunity to be their own boss, to utilize some of the skills that they possess or that they've learned in the military, and it allows them to come back to their farms or maybe move to a farm and work with someone else and you know, market their skills.
Well, I think there's a great connection. The military is a value-based organization. Values like selfless service, loyalty to others, hard work, individualism, but teamwork. And farming's the same way. You know, farmers have to be very independent in their thought processes and accomplishing their day-to-day goals. Frankly, it's not an occupation that's going to make you rich, so that's where the selfless service comes in. You have to enjoy it yourself as well as you have to enjoy providing something for others.
There are opportunities to use the GI Bill for agricultural education to gain a degree or a trade skill like welding to use on the farm. There are also national groups like the Farmers Veterans Coalition that offer information on how to get started in farming. And there are mentorships available with veteran farmers like the Hudsons.
This is a Scottish Highland cow. It's McKinley. Her calf is over there. And, you know, we raise our cattle, of course, for meat. They're not pets, even though it might appear that way at the moment. She may well go to slaughter one day. Go on, girl. Pasture-raised meats are an opportunity for our people and our children to eat better. Veterans not only work for everyone in America when they're serving their country in a battle or when there's not a war, they can also come home and continue to serve and use those same values to provide food and nourishment for our society.
The Hudsons say a farm doesn't have to be large to be successful. If you're a veteran with a desire to farm, there's help to make it happen. County farm bureaus are another resource. The American Farm Bureau has put together tips for local farmers to help returning veterans get started in agriculture. There are plenty of other farmers and organizations that are willing to assist and step up to guide you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. From South Boston, Virginia, this is Dave Miller reporting.
That's going to do it for this edition of Real Virginia. We are so glad you could join us to celebrate the bounty Virginia has to offer. Whether it's in your home, your garden, or your landscape, we're proud to say that this is Real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a good week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.